Well, I'm still laying out, cutting out, I guess I should say, the letters on the stencil. And like I said, it's painstakingly time consuming is the words I'm trying to get out. But it's going to make it a whole lot better when I get ready to do the actual laying out on the boards. Everything I know is going to be done identical. The signs will look the same, which is what you want when you're doing two identical signs. You really want them to look the same. But this is just something entirely different from what I've normally done. Different, still the same, but basically I've never done anything this big. And that's the reason I called this Big Times 2. It's the biggest sign I've ever made, and I'm making two of them. Thus, Big Times 2. But you live and learn. And like I said, when I retire from my day job, doing this type of business is what I really want to get into is the larger commercial signs. The bigger the sign, the more forgiving the designs are when it comes time to carving and whatnot. You have bigger letters to carve, and yeah, the lines have to make sure they're straight around the letters and the designs and whatnot. So you have to use straight edge guides, or at least I do. I'm not that good. But the design itself, because it is so big, is a little more forgiving as far as what it takes to make those look good. So but what I'm doing right now is on the letters that have inside, like the D's and the E's and O's and stuff like that, you have to create a little section to hold that centerpiece inside of that letter, so that you hold it in when you lay out. It stays there, and I get the full outline of the letter to carve around, and it just makes for a cleaner finish. And it'll all make sense when I get it all done. I think you will understand what I'm trying to do and why I'm laying it out this way. So I am having to be a little more cautious because my razor blade is getting a little dull. So I need to be a little more cognizant about that blade, because when they're dull, this is when you can get hurt the easiest. You're trying to force it into doing something that it really doesn't want to do right now. But if you are taking your time, you can make it work right. So I guess maybe I ought to get a tattoo on the top of my head so y'all can look at that and you don't have to just look at the bald shiny spot no more. But I'm not a fan of tattoos, so that's not happening anytime soon. No offense to anyone that has them. It's just not my cup of tea. I'd rather have my tattoos on a piece of wood. It is Memorial Day weekend, and we want to take the time to remember our servicemen and women who died in defense of this country. This is their weekend. Please don't forget them. Please keep the veterans who've passed away as a result of battle or from wounds sustained in battle. Please keep them in mind this weekend, because We get to live the life we live because of the life they gave us. And I'll never forget them. I'm a veteran, but this isn't my weekend. My weekend is in November when it's Veterans Day. That's for those of us who are still alive, who didn't suffer death or wounds that took our lives. Our time is in November. This is the ones who died, who paid the ultimate sacrifice for me and you. So please keep them in mind this weekend. So God rest all of our servicemen and women who have gone on before us. Rest in peace. Anyway, so that's the latest for today. And I'll get y'all up to date as I get further along. So right now I'll just kind of spin the camera around a little bit and let y'all see what I've done so far. And like I said, this is a good 4.5, 5 hours worth of work to get all this stuff cut out. And it's gonna be worth it. So I appreciate y'all hanging around, and we'll be back.